I give it, I'm not talking about steroids, all you fuckheads. I'm talking about just like power bars, stuff like that for like Aaron Rodgers and Arian Foster, and that kind of leads them to victory.
Certainly flying like an eagle. The next game was the Riverdale Scoopers. Myself beating Yellow Peril. I was a little worried going into the game. My team was a little sluggish in practice during the week. I had a lot of bye week situations going on and injuries. My bench consisted of RG3, Willis McGahee, DeMarco Murray, Ryan Matthews, Julio Jones, and Jimmy Graham. So the fact that I scored the most points this week and came up with a victory, I'm very happy about that. Brady, Victor Cruz, Randall Cobb, who I drafted, I stashed on my bench. I now finally got to play him, and he went off for me.
Hey, I got a question for you.
Yes, Bubba.
If you could change one pick in your draft, who would you go? Who would you pick differently? Go. Who would you not pick that you picked? This is easy question.
No, it's not though.
Really?
Yeah. Wait. Let me look at my team.
when you see him, you're gonna be like, oh yeah.
Maybe guess Brandon Lloyd.
Yeah, that's an awful pick.
Yeah.
We hate Brandon Lloyd, by the way.
I don't hate him actually.
We do.
Who's we?
What? Our Sunday.
You're one person.
No, myself, my brother, Coach Heaney.
Oh, all right.
A couple of our buddies.
Okay.
We don't like Brandon Lloyd. The yackless Brandon Lloyd.
I have a feeling he's gonna have a big second half. Okay.
I don't think so.
Well, we'll see. The next game, Bub, was the Solglonians versus the Pig Newtons. Pretty good game. Not obviously, Pig Newtons didn't have the best output there. What are your thoughts there, Bub?
Bye weeks kind of hurt Phil there. Matt Ryan was his big scorer.
Tony Romo, you mean? Tony Romo was the big scorer.
No, but in general, this season, Matt Ryan has been his highest scorer.
Okay.
Highest scorer of probably top 5 in the league.
Yeah.
So not having him kind of hurt, but Ridley didn't do much. Torrey Smith, Calvin Johnson sucked.
A lot of underachievers, and Coach Brian does deserve to get a pretty good
Chris Johnson
output from the other team. He's been getting raped. Yeah. Chris Johnson finally goes off, and
which, by the way, I bet him to have the most rushing yards this week.
Did he?
Yeah.
Nicely done.
Yeah.
Nicely done. Nobody cares. It's not Dynasty related.
I know. I'm just saying.
V-Jax also went off.
Yeah.
So good win by Solglow. Phil's now dropped 2 in a row, so he better get his shit together, or he's gonna find himself on the outside looking in again. And then Handy Quacks versus the Amber Alerts. Not a lot of talk about there, although I guess I kind of posed the question a few days ago.
It was silly.
There on Twitter.
It was a
silly question. Silly times here, but I think there is a little relevance to it. Handy Quacks now goes to 3-4. It's a big group of 3 and 4 teams. Obviously we all assume he's not in it anymore. He fire sold his team weeks ago, but he's now won 2 in a row. He's kind of right there in the thick of things. Could he have a shot here? Or?
His team is so bad.
It's not too good. It's not too good.
You're starting T.Y. Hilton and Brandon Myers. You don't have a good team.
So the answer
is no. He's not in the playoff hunt.
All right. Switching gears over to the good old Amber Alerts. 48 points. I want to say that's the least scored of this season for anybody.
It's got to be close.
Yeah. The record. We were looking at the record. Coach John and
is it?
No. It's 41, and we actually switched just to let everyone know if you're looking back in the archives. Right. We made that change in that rule a year or 2 ago that if for some of those teams, in the early Dynasty years, that maybe didn't field a full team via buys or injuries, those don't count. You have to field a full team in order to be eligible to, score the least amount of points. So the record was 41, which is actually shared by Solglow, Pig Newtons, and Hong Kong. And Bub, what do you think? Throwing a lot of questions at you.
That's fine.
Doing a good job handling it here. How many times? Amber Alerts has obviously been in the Dynasty since the beginning.
Inaugural season.
Yeah, there you go. So this is now his 9th season. How many, let's say, weeks, let's say including this one, would you say Coach John scored either 48 points or less in his franchise? Just kind of randomly. What do you
know that?
Well, I didn't know off the top of my head, but I did take a look at it.
I have to assume, And you know what happens when you assume? You make an ass out of yourself. But I don't think I'm gonna here. I'm gonna assume that it's a number. And by a number, I mean
it is a number. It's not a letter. It's not a Roman numeral. It could be a Roman numeral.
I don't think it's possible for you to look that up. So,
well, it's definitely possible to look up.
Oh yeah, I guess it is. All the way back to season 1.
Oh well, maybe not for you. For me, as the commissioner and having the Yahoo profile, stupid
it's the Yahoo one.
Friggin' Yahoo.
Man, I want to say 1, but I'm gonna say 6.
Wait, so you wanted to say 1, but you're going to say 6?
I'm gonna say 6.
Okay, and that's including this one, correct?
Yes.
Okay, good guess. It's actually 8.
Oh wow.
He's had 8 times in which he
once a season almost.
Pretty much. We he does lead the league in all-time losses, but hey, he's got that title to his name, and more than I can say. The next game there, again, not too much to talk about, although I said that, and we've been talking for quite a while here. VIP on Swole versus the Boston Loggers. Pretty much happened the way we maybe thought it would. Loggers lost. Swole 101 to 70. 111. Sorry, to 77. Breeze just goes off. Not much to say here. And then the game that I think we're all talking about. Some of us are excited about it. Some of us are disappointed. Some of us are suicidal. Brutal Deluxe versus the Rockdalian Senators. It ended in a goddamn tie. Man, what is it with Brutal and ties? 82 to 82. MJD went down early. He put up a goose egg. He figured, Senators was gonna win on Monday night. He had Jay Cutler, Brandon Marshall, the kicker, and I was very surprised to see that Senators took a shot on Jay Diabetes Cutler, given his hatred of him. It's Hall of Fame. It's in the goddamn Hall of Fame. I'm flustered at what happened in this game, and I even want to almost recreate what happened, and I'm going to read some of the Gamecast chat here. On 8:48 p.m. on Monday night, Brandon said, "Fuck me, Cutler to Marshall. See you guys in the morning. Good win, Will." Obviously, that was when Cutler, threw a touchdown there to Marshall. Then at 9:53, so more than an hour later, he says, "Oh, still watching."
No, that's not what he said.
What did he say?
What did he say? He said,
"No, go ahead."
Wah! I'm still watching. God damn it.
Thank you for that reenactment. Yes, that is what he said. I'm misquoting. I could get sued. Then Brandon talks about 10-12. He says he feels bad. Direct quote from lunch today at work. Quote, "I hope Cutler gets hit by a bus." Quote unquote. Didn't mean not him can sue, because Sue almost destroyed Cutler. Anyway, a lot of back and forth, a lot of emotion on the game cap.
And then 15 minutes after that, he says, "I hope he gets hit by a bus."
Because it came back in the game. So a lot of stuff going on. Eventually, what ended up happening? Basically,
I'll tell you what happened.
Tell me what happened.
I'll tell you what happened. They ended up tied, and do you know why?
Well,
and this is Will.
No, why?
Will should change his hatred.
Yes.
From Cutler to, I don't remember who it was.
Okay.
It was the defensive lineman on the Lions, who blocked Robbie Gould's field goal, which cost Will points,
which cost him
the game. We
have audio from Coach Will DeYoung it was actually immediately following the loss last night. Well, this is we're recording this Tuesday night, so last night would be Monday night in the English calendar. Is that?
Wait a minute.
No, let's just continue. So, unfortunately, as you can all imagine, Will is not doing too good. We all saw him basically inform the league that he is, selling his team, although he had a little trouble as usual.
Yes.
With his Rockdale accent.
Yep.
And
the jargon.
Yes. So let's hear from Will.
Execute 2 phases of the game, offense and defense. There's no special team points in fantasy football. It just was horrible. We really couldn't argue. I can't say anything, but I